What is happening, people? Today this video is going to be about life before and after Instagram. Now when I say before and after, I don't necessarily mean before I started the Instagram, but going back to the beginning when I was using my Instagram, only had a little over 1,000 followers, and to where I'm at now, which is 105,000 followers. So things have changed as time has gone on, definitely. I always notice there's a difference even between 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. It's leveling up. It's constantly leveling up. But one thing that people should know, because I feel like there's not really enough people talking about this. I'll even say that there's a couple guys out there like the guy that runs Hostel, the supplement company, Fubad. He talks about contracts and people's followings and how much money you can make in the industry as a sponsored athlete or doing promotions, whatever. And then there's a couple guys that talk about it. Nick Strength and Power kind of has a rundown specifically of what type of money people are looking at with certain followings, anywhere from down to 5, 10K all the way up to millions. And obviously, the bigger your number is, the more credibility and the better appearance you're going to have to people. It's just, we're we're very judgmental people as a whole. So obviously, we see that number, 1 million followers. This person must be a superstar, right? It's not always the case. I mean, superstar within their own right and in their own industry, and you never really know what somebody is involved in. You only see what they show you. I mean, when people get involved with the social media stuff and you start getting a high following, you essentially become a businessman, and it's your business. Like, that's your way, that's your resume, that's your way of displaying who you are, what you do, what you're about. And how much you give to people is all up to you. And the more you give as a person, and the more you show and what you can do, the more people are going to be relatable to you, or at least be able to like you. So I guess I should say, where should I start? So I noticed once, when I started this growing a lot 8, 9 months ago, I started noticing, I want to say around between 5 and 10K, it was like more people would start messaging you, less people ignoring your messages. Because in the beginning, man, like, I don't want to say I was chasing clout, but I guess I was. But it's just, you want people to notice you. You want to be seen doing the things that you want to be doing and that you want to get paid for, and the things that you're trying to display on your social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. So the best way to get your name out there is, if you are going to try to reach out to somebody who's established or successful in the game, or has been in the game for at least a few years, try to, don't be a fanboy or a fangirl. Just ask a serious question. And an easier way to get their attention is to not send them a message directly, but to click on their story and send them a message from their story for a story reaction. It pops up under the notifications differently, other than a message. It comes up as a normal notification instead of just a message. And sometimes if your message comes in as a request, whenever I message people, it comes in as a request because of my following. So if you don't check your request box, always check that request box too, by the way. Legitimate companies most likely will not reach out to you through your messaging on Instagram, to be honest with you. If someone really wants to work with you and do business with you, they're going to email you and contact via email. I like to talk to people on the phone, like, straight up. Like, going forward, like, if we're talking anything on a monthly or a yearly contract, like, we're getting on that phone. We're getting on the phone. I'm having my lawyer comb over the contract, and that's really how you got to be when you get to a certain level. In the beginning, you're kind of just doing brand ambassadorships and maybe taking free apparel, free supplements. And as you keep growing and get bigger and bigger, you get more of those free opportunities, more things sent to you. You get the opportunity to promote things. I use what I have and what I know in my voice and just everything about me to promote brands, hence these guys. And newer companies. If you're not you're not Michael Jordan or a Jay Cutler, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to negotiate like a high amount of money for anything specific, like you got to prove yourself, your credibility, your worth. Like, man, there's so many different things that you can do. Like, don't be afraid to reach out to people. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Just talking on this camera is getting out of your comfort zone. There's steps to it. Like I said, you start off recording in the gym, prop your phone up somewhere. Maybe you're self-conscious, you don't want someone to see it. Go ahead and be sneaky with it. You gotta start somewhere, and then it just, your confidence will slowly build, and you'll just be like, I don't give a F what anybody thinks about my content or how I look. Like, chances are, if someone's staying on your video long enough, or even just to click it and hit the dislike button or thumbs down, whatever, and then leave a negative comment, they took time out of their day to hate on you because of something within themselves, not because of you. I always tell people, if you're in the gym working out, step one, you're in the gym, you're doing the right thing. Mind you, I'm not trying to have this just appeal to fitness people. This can go for a lot of different things. I mean, if you're trying to be a fashion or a lifestyle blogger, start taking at least pretty decent photos of what you're doing or where you travel or your new clothes or something, you know. Like, you got to start somewhere. And then obviously as a fitness influencer, like, these people are making their money off YouTube and having a high following on Instagram, tons of views and likes, da 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 da. You hit that mark. I can't even remember what mark I hit when Instagram tells you can start monetizing your videos, but once you hit a certain following or a video that hits a certain amount of views, I thought it was 50K, I'm not sure, but you start monetizing your IGTV videos, which I believe all the videos that you release on Instagram, other than what is it, a reel, come up as IGTV now anyways, because of whatever Instagram did to update things. So it was kind of funny. I never had an ambassadorship. I kind of got to my level where I got to so fast. And then somewhere when I was around 75K followers, I had gotten, I'm not even going to say the name of the company for obvious reasons that people know of. Maybe that'll be something I speak on another time, but long story short, I skipped ambassadorships. I didn't want any of it. Honestly, my worth wasn't really there, regardless of what my following and numbers on engagement were. Those numbers are not always reflective on who you are necessarily as a person or how big your financials are. Just keep that in mind. I mean, I'm at 100K, and there's probably thousands of people that have less to following than me and have way more money than I have. Because the fact of the matter is I got here within 9 months, had nothing in my pocket, and made it happen. Now I have to steadily climb up and build up from here. It's a slow, it's a slow process to rely on income from the internet and the fitness industry. It really, I'm not gonna lie, it sucks, man. If you just are at my age, 31 years old, and relying on that, it sucks. It's not easy, especially when you live in a state where things are way more expensive, or just this climate of the country in general right now because of coronavirus. To me, it sounds like homes are just expensive everywhere you go right now, way more jacked up. But I got my first sponsor was a contract, straight up. Like, was not a large amount of money, but you get the money paid, you get a check every month or direct deposit or whatever. I had $250 worth of gear every month, whether it was clothing, supplements. They mainly wanted it to be supplements. I'm not big on supplements. I don't use that many. I drink protein powder, and that's really it. So they gave me the $250 in merch every month. I got commissions for any sales that I made and any referrals for any ambassadors. So that's actually really standard for your first contract, is a low amount of money each month. Now, mind you, companies are always going to come at you with the bottom line, right? Now, if you establish and say who you are up front and really tell them like what type of value you can bring, what you're willing to do for them, you can try to negotiate something. But honestly, if you haven't really worked with that many people, you're not seen doing too many different things with different companies or people, they're going to be like, well, where's your credibility? I mean, it seems like for me, it was a newer company and I'm a newer athlete. So it was like, maybe I helped them grow, we help me grow, da da da. Long story short, it didn't work out. It wasn't a good deal. It was actually awful. And not going to say the name of the company because I don't like to crap on people. I don't like to badmouth people. It was just, He knows who he is. Anyways, it's just, you got to be careful who you're dealing with in the industry, man, because some people will come off very nice and correct and proper with the most, seem like they have such a high amount of respect for you. And then, I started realizing, like, after that deal went sour, I started dealing with other people that were kind of the same way. And I was just like, man, these people really know how to try to sell themselves and make themselves sound great. And then, I'm not saying that's how it is for everybody, because there are people that are going under this company and other companies that are successful that certain people are not successful under, even if it seems like their following and everything is higher. Or it's hard to compare numbers to other people. You really can't. And that just goes to tell you that focus on your own stuff. Don't care about anybody else's numbers. Don't care about how many comments they get. Just know you're lit. Know you're doing the right thing. Know you're working. That's it, man. Like, you're putting the work in. Like, who gives a damn what anybody else thinks? Go to the gym. Start recording. Get the confidence to have someone record you. Get a tripod. Like, make moves. Just know you're making moves. And the people that are looking at you that you think are judging you or you get anxious about, like, camera shy, whatever, who cares? Like, I know that's easier said than done because I went through this. I've been going through it for the past 8-9 months, and now I'm at the point where I'm recording these YouTube videos and moving and saying and doing whatever the hell I want to do, because that's the life that I wanted. And you guys that are watching this probably are like, I want that life too. How do I have it? It's not that simple. Like, I had to self-educate my stuff on this when I had some downtime due to a prior legal situation. So I had the time to be able to read books and really educate myself on fitness, not just looking good and trying to flex my ego. I really wanted to change to be healthier. I wanted to live longer because I lost out on so many great years in my 20s, basically 25 to 28, completely gone. And I'm going to say even 21 to 25, I was completely gone. So that, I missed out on so many fun things, going on vacation because I was just so caught up doing things back home and partying and girls, and man, it was crazy for a while. I swear to God. From the time I was 18 to 25, it was just nonstop action. I didn't really take enough time to sit back and realize what was going on until everything else happened afterwards. So that's when I decided I needed a change. But I knew even before the legal situation that I was never ever gonna work in an office. I tried it. I tried so many different jobs. I'm like, man, this stuff is not working out for me. I'm gonna give this thing a go and see what we can do. Pay for a little bit of marketing to help boost my account. And sure enough, you have to work really hard at this though. Like, to sit here and record long videos, to edit them. Like, I've said all of this on a video before, but I'll keep saying it again for the people that are just catching this going forward right now, whenever. This channel is pretty small right now, but I've put the same faith into my Instagram that I'm putting into this. So, and the same thing that I put into everything else in my life is faith, and just believing that what you're doing is going to pay off. The actions that you're doing now in this moment are going to pay off later. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, it might not be next month, it might even not be next year, it might be 5 years from now before you see the results of the great things that you do. And that's what's going to separate you growing on Instagram from everybody else. Social media is just have a purpose to help people, but also do good things for people, do good things for yourself. Make it equal. I never believed in doing more for others than for yourself, because what's left for you if you do more for others than yourself? Like, we have to be happy people, don't we? That kind of sounds like you're people pleasing a little too much, but then again, we're diving into perspective, right? Like, everything in life is perspective. On how you perceive things is not the same way I perceive things. That doesn't mean you're right or wrong, or I'm right or wrong. You can personally think that you're right or wrong, or think that I'm right or wrong, but I'm not going to have an opinion about you unless you're getting offensive to me, like on some real shit. Damn, I don't mean to keep swearing. I swear by accident too much on this, and you know what? The videos aren't even monetized yet, so I don't care. I'll swear for now until I'm told to shut up. But yeah, people definitely treat me differently from 1,000 to 100K and in between. I'd say life really started changing. Started really releasing some great fire content, just the angles and the shots, and you see me recording in the gym with the blue background. Amp Fitness, just a great place for young people to train and record videos. And I definitely accredit that place to my success, because those videos back in July, August, September were crushing it in terms of reach. Not even the likes and the views, it was the reach that these videos were getting. It was insane. Like, I couldn't even get pictures. Pictures for everybody else do great, and for me, they're not. Some of them do pretty good, but most of them are just average. And the numbers that I'm getting on my videos, even to this day, sometimes are just like crushing the algorithm in a whole entire different way. And it's just because I've created a lane for myself that I create these videos. Mind you, I have someone recording a good amount of that content, but I am editing everything. I'm putting the music behind everything. Every song that I put behind everything is all right here. I don't have anything written down. I don't have an official playlist. The playlist is right here. I know that sounds crazy, but I was into music for many, many years and was probably on some of these mixtape websites more than I was on Instagram to this day. So again, for me, like, I know so much about so many different things. And mind you, I'm 31. I'm not 19, 21, 25. Like, someone that is older than me, or even my age, might have a harder time understanding how Instagram works and how to grow on there. Like, people just have personal accounts for their family, and I don't even want to say their day-to-day life, because people have an Instagram and not post something for months or a month, whatever. But the older you are, it's gonna be harder to understand. Like, how am I gonna market something when I'm 50 years old on Instagram? It's people do it. It's just not as common. It's even less common with people in my age bracket, 30 to 40, whatever. Like, so getting into it while you're young is definitely important. Definitely important when you're young. Probably after college is like the best time. Like, man, I'll tell you, I see so many people, doing it big on Instagram who are 18, 20, 21, or in college, and it's like, yo, I don't know how you take the time to post and engage with people and then study for school, do exams. Like, I seriously do not think this is meant for college students, unless you can manage to not let all the attention and everything get to your head. Because as I know, if I had an Instagram doing this when I was 18, I would be people watching this probably already know, like, from back home and stuff, like, I would have been done. I was already finished with what I had going on and the attention I had back then. I would not need this now. And I know people, years ago, technology isn't the same as it is now. It's so different. People get so consumed by this. I get consumed by it. I feel like a kid sometimes, but it's because of the energy and me feeling like a kid that I feel so happy and love life, and jump on a skateboard sometimes and just going to the beach and just really doing as I please and making a life out of it, a lifestyle. And that's always been my dream, is to just be able to be me and get paid for it, if that makes sense. Because everything that I do is an extension of who I am. It's not necessarily the physical act of doing weightlifting or going and walking and doing things. It's just things that are an extension of who I am as a person. And of course, I am going to, do these things on a day-to-day basis, because they're what make me happy. They're what relieve stress. And everybody's got something they do on a day-to-day basis, whether it's going to the gym, meeting up with friends, going to the bars. Like, there's no judgment here on anything that anybody else does. Like, I live my life, you live your life, and simple as that. There's so much more tips I can run down on Instagram. I've already been sitting here talking for 20 minutes. Highly doubt if anybody's going to listen to this whole video. If you do, bravo, maybe you'll pull something from it, because the thing is, I'm not going to sit here and spit nonsense facts. Like, the fact of the matter is that I'm running down all these Instagram gems and what it takes and what you got to do in order to be successful. And I haven't even ran down the other components of everything. It's just, you have to engage, post a lot, make a lot of stories. You have to be active and consistent, straight up. And just be careful if you are plan on going to this level. There's ways to make that happen, and if you know how to make it happen, just be safe and be careful when you do, because I swear, like, you know, the conversations you have with people at a lower following compared to a higher following, and the type of reach you have, and the type, like, it's insane. It literally, your life changes. My life changed that quick. The only difference is that I don't got the fancy car or the fancy house yet. So I just am engaged in the lifestyle, know a lot of people now, made a lot of connections. Like, it's a progression, and I've gone out of my way to go to places where people in the industry are sponsored by big gyms, popular cities in Florida, towns and areas here. Being in Florida is just essential for growth in the fitness industry in general, or California, or Texas, New Mexico. No, there's nothing in New Mexico. But Texas is really huge. Vegas, go to Vegas. Places like that, man. Anyways, I'm done talking. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to upload it tonight. You guys have a great Sunday night.